Let's call this meeting of the Henley Homes and Royal Building Committee meeting to order on July 16th, 2025 at 6:02 p.m.
Yeah, right.
First order of business.
Yeah.
Dave, can you mute, please? Thank you. First order of business is to approve the meeting minutes from the building committee meeting on June the 25th. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes? Rob moves. Jameson seconds. All in favor? I'll take Paul's and Sarah's silence as approval. In terms of the chair's report, two things, two people to introduce to the committee. I'm very, very pleased to introduce to the committee Dr. Eric Byrne, who is our new interim superintendent. I met with Dr. Byrne and with Jill McCammon and with Dennis Maroney, who's the other person I'm going to introduce in a moment. Earlier today, I think it was a really good meeting. Dr. Byrne comes to us from Rye and has tremendous experience in doing exactly what we're doing in the Rye School District for the Rye schools. Very, very different context because of the way New York State handles reimbursement and payment, and they don't have a building committee, so almost this whole project was in Dr. Byrne's jurisdiction. So I think he's going to be not just very supportive of us, but a tremendous resource to us, having done this. One more person who's done this or very, very recently, and additionally has worked closely with KG&D, so is familiar with at least the design part of the team that we're working with. So I think that's going to be great. And secondly, Dennis Maroney, who's may be traveling but has joined us by phone. Dennis is a member of the Board of Education. As I think many of you know, Jill has some health issues that she's managing her way through and is going to be a lot less active on this committee. I think she's going to continue to be the chair of the Board of Education, but Dennis is going to join us. He's a member of the Board of Education and is going to join us as the Board of Education liaison to the building committee. So welcome, Dennis. He's now going to get on the steep learning curve that others that have joined us midstream have been on. But again, I think Dennis is going to be a great resource. The only other thing is I don't think we're going to have a financial update. Josh Kaufman wasn't able to do the monthly update. I think similarly, I think we're still waiting on the O&G monthly report, and so we'll just defer that and pick that up in August at our August meeting on August the 20th. With that, Scott, if you are willing to do it, otherwise you want to turn it over to Matt so that you can drive safely. Just give the committee and Dr. Byrne and Dennis kind of an update on where things stand based, maybe rehash, give a quick summary of the OAC meeting from last Friday and where things stand.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Matt, do you mind at least starting with Henley?
Sure, no problem. So at Henley, we're making progress ever since the last building committee meeting. We've opened up into phase 2A. So that's the summer phase and doing a lot of interior renovations and finalizing phase 1B. And this obviously goes across all three schools. And so that means the addition will be finalized within the coming month. And the summer alterations will also be finalized this month. That is about half of the school in terms of architectural upgrades. And then the steam to hot water boiler conversion that was requested by the district to be completed this summer, as well as additional unit ventilator upgrades throughout the entire school. So a lot of work happening here, a lot of right sizing of classrooms, And then a lot of final touches and finish and architectural finishes in the new addition, as well as MEP startups and getting all of the systems up and running.
2 miles, take exit.
The site finishes in the courtyard are also underway. So we're on target to give back a lot of the play space for the school to utilize again.
Great.
Any questions about Henley in terms of the schedule update?
All right.
What do you
So,
see?
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, we can do this. I mean, maybe let's do this for Henley while we have Matt, but what do you, I guess, looking at the calendar, we're basically 1 month away from having to get out of the schools and turn the schools back over to Kevin and the principals and the faculty. What do you guys kind of view happening over the course of the next 30 days at Henley?
So a lot of exterior site finishes are underway. We're touching up the last bits of the interior. There's still a couple loose ends that are getting tied up, and then we'll be doing our own construction punch list, which will last us about 1 to 2 weeks, and then after that, the architect and the engineers will come in and do their official punch list to finalize all of the last items for the school before we turn it over to the town and district to begin their move-in with furniture and teachers and classrooms.
Travis, what's the current target date for furniture delivery?
We've got, they're staggering the 3 schools. So Royal starts on 7:30, then Holmes 8:11, and then Henley 8:15, with everything
Wow.
wrapping up by 8:20.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So when we meet again on August the 20th, this current phase of the project will largely be handed back over to the school district.
Yes.
So either Matt or Scott, can you bring us up to date on Holmes and Royal?
yeah, sure. So, similar to all 3 schools are in a similar position, right? So at Holmes, they have started their 2A work as well. Things are moving along quite well. We also had to move some stuff around in our original phasing to get the mezzanine portion of the library work done this summer as opposed to next summer in order to get some electrical panel work completed to run our new units. And that is going very well to schedule also. To your point about finishing, Chris, this we'll be finishing things up right to the deadline of getting furniture in and getting things put back together.
Right.
The summer phases are they're a lot to tackle in a short amount of time.
Right.
With that said, though, I mean, I don't see any issues with getting these complete. Similarly, like I said, to all 3 schools, so they're completing the front entrance. They started working on that. They'll be completing that front entrance work at Holmes with new sidewalks and some new pavement there, completing the access road to the back, along with the dumpster pad, and then buttoning up the 2A work, as well as building our temporary walls to get into the next phased work during the school year. Also, we'll be landing some heat pump units, I think in the next week and a half. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys have that going on this weekend?
That's correct.
You're on. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Say that again, Matt. You were on mute.
Yeah, that's correct.
So yeah, so they're landing heat pump units on Henley this weekend. And once they do that, we'll be following that up with landing them on Holmes roof. That gets us 1 step closer to getting conditioning into these spaces. Again, that'll take about 2 weeks once these land to get those up and running. Yeah, the additions at Holmes largely are completed. We have final cleaning set up for the week before furniture arrives. So we'll pick up our temporary protection, start to get things cleaned, get floors waxed, etc. Then jumping into Royal, very similar, like I said, to the other two schools. We're into the 2A work. We have classrooms similar to Henley. We have classrooms that we've opened up in the existing school that we have to turn back over by the end of the summer. So like I was saying, it's a big lift for a short amount of time, but that's going very well. We got units actually started up at Royal this week. So the 90s wings, unit ventilators are running, as well as the addition air conditioning cassettes are also running in the
That's
classroom.
great.
We've gotten the portable classrooms demoed and hauled away. And we have the back addition ready for final demolition. They've gone in, they've done the abatement, they've pulled out everything that needs to be pulled out of that addition prior to being crushed by a large excavator. So we're just waiting on the permit, which we got the sign off yesterday to the town. So we hopefully issue the permit tomorrow, and we can get started on demoing that building. And getting started on that addition, which also starts up, once the demo of that building is complete, we start the excavation, foundation, etc., and start that whole process all over again.
That's the only of the three schools, that's the only place where there's new exterior, new construction still to be done, right? That new wing in Royal.
Not totally. There's going to be a small bump out addition on the back of Holmes. April.
Okay.
So yeah, there's the phasing. I keep bringing this up because I want everybody to just be, conscious of it, that the phasing coming out of the 2B, 2C, depending on the school you're in, phase in December into phase 3, and then finishing a phase 3 in April to start phase 4. Although some of those phases aren't that big per se, the timing and it's very tricky. It's going to be a lot of coordination and a lot of communication between us and the principals to get through these phases in terms during Christmas break and then April break.
Speaking of the principals, anything, Ross, Natasha, anything from you guys? Are you on campus these days, or are you not in town?
No, we're on campus. I think Natasha's been on campus too.
Yes. Staying mostly in my office, but I've been in the building. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions or input from you guys based on what we heard from Matt and Scott?
We had our meeting on Friday, so I don't have any questions right now. I'm in the building tomorrow, so I'll have to go say goodbye to the first grade wing before it gets demolished.
Good plan.
Yeah, and things are good here. The front looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be done. I guess probably next week, my guess is. So it's nice to have that along with, the new side of the building. And we had some good staff conversations today about what we could do for the lobby as well. So when people come in,
Right.
there's a sense of newness, not just in the new branch.
Right.
So, so there's that. But yeah, and there's been some issues with getting some of our big deliveries in without access to the front, but we've managed, making use of the old, what's going to be the old library. So nothing that we can't overcome. And Matt and Kevin continue to be great. I think Matt, when did we meet? Like late last week or a couple days ago? We met a couple days ago and just went over some things. So everything's been good and smooth. So thank you.
Okay, good to hear. Yeah, and as much as anything, I wanted Dr. Byrne to hear that kind of your guys' coordination with the ONG team. One thing that came up in our meeting earlier today, and Kevin, this may already be on your radar, but it might make sense. I think Dr. Byrne wanted to maybe do a walkthrough of the projects. And I guess can I ask you to try to coordinate that with Scott and his team? And so it's done in such a way that doesn't cause
Yeah.
too much disruption on the construction sites, considering that every minute is important to these guys.
Yeah, I think we've already got something penciled on the calendar, and that's not a problem.
Awesome. Awesome. What day is that? Because if I can join, I'd try to. When was that set for?
It wasn't this coming week. Bear with me. It was the following week. I want to say Tuesday, the 29th.
Okay. I may or not. All right. I'll let you know if I'm in. I may or may not be in town. I may have to go to a wedding that weekend, but okay.
Yes, I see Tuesday the 29th at 10 a.m.
Tuesday the 29th. All right. I may actually be able to do that. That's cool. Where were you guys going to start? Do you know?
Probably just start at Henley just for simplicity's sake.
Okay. With that, any other questions from anybody? Anything, Dennis or Dr. Byrne that you want to go over? Okay. Or Scott, you want to repeat?
Yeah, just one last thing. I just wanted to just let it be. Our teams, we've been here for a year now, and I think that our superintendents are working very well with Kevin's team. I know there's always constant communication. These guys have created, I think, good relationships at this point in the project. So I don't feel we'll have any issues coordinating, these finishes coming down to the wire with moving. Kevin, you could chime in if you that.
Yeah, absolutely. Each one of the site supers has been fantastic. They work very closely with the custodians, forget about the principals, but we're always in the loop and know what needs to be done and when. So I think we definitely have a lot more work to do, but we're in a really good spot because of Scott and his team.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Thank you. Any questions from committee members, Dr. Byrne or Dennis, on what you heard from Matt and Scott?
No questions, but thank you. Keep up the good work. It's incredible what you've accomplished.
Thanks. Forward to meeting you.
With that, let's turn to the one action item that we have for this evening, which is approval of the June pay apps. If I could get a motion to approve pay application number 14, dated June 30, 2025 for the Henley Elementary School in the amount of $1,281,327.29. Jameson moves, Sarah seconds, all in favor? Great. If I could get a motion to approve pay application number 14, dated June 30, 2025 for the Holmes Elementary School in the amount of $1,423,758.23. Sarah moves, Jameson seconds, all in favor? Terrific. If I could get a motion to approve pay application number 14, dated June 30, 2025 for the Royal Elementary School in the amount of $1,523,962.87. Jameson moves. Sarah seconds. All in favor? Great. Dave Cravenzola, quick question. I didn't know the exact timing when I was describing the state process to Dr. Byrne, which is very different than what he's experienced in New York. Do you know what the projected timing of the next state reimbursement submission is?
I don't know. I think after one of the last meetings, I don't know, was it Kevin? Someone doubled back with Town Hall about how many interim payment requisitions they had filed.
Yes.
Kevin, you remember?
Yeah.
Because are they doing it every other month?
No, I think we do it quarterly. There were some funds already received for 2 of the 3 projects. One, for one reason or another, was held up in review, but we are starting to see the money come in from the state.
Is it possible, I guess, Rob, I assume you and Board of Finance are going to want to see that information.
Yep.
It may make sense to coordinate with Josh and have that added to his reporting so we can see
Yeah,
how
no
we're
doubt, Chris.
either as part of the existing reporting or as a new separate report so that we can track how we're doing with the state on a submission by submission basis.
Yeah, Chris, I'll take that as an action item for myself. I'll work with Josh to make it pretty transparent what's come in by school, right? We want to see
Great.
it by school.
Yeah, because they are 3 separate projects. So
And
yeah, we
Yeah,
have to do it.
absolutely.
And their files are all categorized by that anyways. They issue
Yeah.
separate payments and everything.
Yeah. I'll talk to Josh, especially as kind of complete the June one, right? We'll have those numbers in there, and he knows the I think he knows the urgency of it, but I'll get on that. I'll take
That
it
would
as an
be
action
great.
item.
And then great. And then it may make sense, and I'm happy to be part of it, but I'm also happy to get out of the way on this, Dave. It may make sense for you or you and Scott to connect with Dr. Byrne and just describe what his role is going to be on the submissions. I described a little bit the change order process and how he's going to need to sign change orders
Sure.
on a monthly basis, but also whatever questions he might have as it relates to the state process. Because like I said, he didn't have to deal with that in New York.
Yeah, happy to do that. I can just put a quick email together of just what the couple of documents are you're going to see. It's pretty much one document that you're going to be signatory to on the way out, and then you will be copied back on correspondence from the state for their assessment of each of the changes. We're typically copied on that as well, but I'll let you know. And I don't, Scott, are you shepherding that through the process right now?
Yes.
For state change order, you're shepherding that through to get KG&D and the town hall and the superintendent's signature?
Yep.
Okay.
Is Dr. Assistant staying on? Or is there going to be somebody new there?
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Cass is still there,
Oh,
right?
yeah, she is.
Yeah, so Cass usually, kind of facilitates it on your guys' side.
Okay.
So I'll send it to, I was sending it to Dr. Adley first. I'll be sending it to you now. And then it goes to, has to get another town signature, and then it goes to KG&D. So.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And actually, Scott, I think I just signed maybe a Royal State change order today.
You very well could have.
Yeah, so I think that'll be coming out soon. So maybe when we go to submit that next one, let's just walk Dr. Byrne through what that document is and what it is that he's signing, just so he understands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
okay,
coming in and just having to sign it of things that you don't know what they really are.
Okay.
Excellent. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anything else that anybody would like to bring up at this point?
Chris, where are we with using contingency, both owners and CMs? Like a list, remember we were talking about, unless that was put out and I didn't see it, like.
Yeah, no, I'll let
some
the
things.
status, yes, no, good question. The status of that, is that it is with ONG and KG&D to do some ballpark estimating on each of the proposed items. And once that's done, we'll roll it out to the committee. I didn't think it made sense to roll it out without at least ballpark educated estimates for what each of those items were going to cost. And then we can think of the best way. I'm still sort of thinking of the best way to tackle it. It may just be, we have an open forum at a meeting, get it to people, and then with enough time and notice to digest it, and then we can have a meeting in an open forum and be like, yeah, we want to do this. Yeah, we don't want to do that. What approach do we want to take to this, right? Because I think ultimately it's going to be, it's going to be a bit of an educated risk analysis in terms of, are we willing to commit to spend funds, let's call it later in 2025, early in 2026, when we're not done yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When we're not done with
Yep.
the project yet.
Yep.
Although, we probably at a certain point we'll start feeling more and more comfortable that we're not going to have any kind of out of left field change orders to have to deal with, and so we'll have a pretty good feel as to where we are against the budget.
Yeah.
But I just think it's going to be a group discussion among anybody who wants to participate in it. The idea was to try to categorize things as either important from a safety standpoint or best construction practices standpoint. So a good example of that is like repointing bricks, right? We don't want bricks falling off. And then another category is things that we think might improve the educational experience. And then kind of a third category is things that I would say are more in the nature of kind of purely aesthetic and add to the beauty of the projects. And so from working within that context, we can kind of decide how we want to prioritize it and which of those things we want to do.
Yeah, I think it's the right approach, and I like your idea of like a forum, and we just got to make sure the stakeholders are in there, right? Like whether it's Dr. Byrne, whether it's principals of the building, like
correct.
how do we kind of prioritize that,
Yeah.
But I appreciate them looking at it first, because it becomes a little bit of a dollar sense issue right at the beginning, and then we kind of, you kind of pick off the a la carte menu and say what kind of works here. But you hit it right on the head, Chris, by saying, at some point as we go down the road, the risk of this thing going sideways, lack of a better word, gets less and less, right? So then you kind of have that contingency out there that we can kind of pick from. But I appreciate.
There will
I
be a
appreciate that.
handful. Yeah. I don't have it open right in front of me, and Kevin may know off the top of his head. There may be a handful of items that we need to move to the front end of that discussion, just because from a best practices in construction standpoint, it makes sense to do them sooner rather than later, like this fall, for example, or even this summer. So those we may need to front end, but none of those, I don't, again, recall off the top of my head, but none of those I think were earth-shattering dollars and cents items.
Okay, cool.
So
I appreciate the update.
Yep.
And just on a note there for that, as far as things coming up, I mean, we're pretty deep into these buildings this summer. As far as finding any other surprises, I don't anticipate much. I mean, the biggest thing we've kind of found in the 40s wings of Royal and Henley are like some storm drain lines that need to be moved. Like, and it's there, but it's not huge cost. Other than that, structurally, I mean, these buildings are kind of exactly what we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it's great to hear, Scott. Great to hear.
Anything else from the group?
And just further to that too, we were just talking internally today about the discussion that when we get through, say, this summer, that to have that discussion about the CM contingency that is currently outstanding, about when is the right time and when is the risk at the correct point where we can start releasing some of those funds back to you outside of from within our GMP contingency, so that you could use them elsewhere.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
And then Chris, you had said something. Did everyone receive the monthly reports I sent out the other day?
I don't think so.
I thought you replied just that you received them.
I thought that was the pay apps.
Yeah, me too. Was it embedded in that email, Scott?
No, it was a separate email.
When you get a moment, could you just resend those? Because then I obviously need to make sure Josh has them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys got them. Let me.
I'll look again, and I'll send you a note once we're done.
I'll get on my computer after this call, and I'll get them sent back over.
All right. Thank you. Sorry for any confusion.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, Scott, I'm just looking at, I see from Tuesday, I see basically it's just the HHR pay apps that was tomorrow, at least in my inbox. I didn't see anything else.
Okay. They went out Monday, I believe.
Yeah, definitely don't have them.
All right, I'll check to see.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn? Jameson moves, Rob seconds, all in favor. Great. Well, guys, everybody enjoy the weather, and we'll see you all in August. And thank you, design and construction team, for all your super hard work. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Great.
to you all,
Thank
and
you.
welcome aboard.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank
Thanks, Chris.
you.
Yep.